Please welcome Bonnie Hammer.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, we let Andy out of his clubhouse today. I think this is probably the first time he's been around so many incredibly bigger-than-life women without housewives drama. Anyway, I'm truly honored to be here on behalf of an incredibly deserving friend, Miss Janice Min over there. Having stood on the stage a few years ago and remembering how proud and humbled I was to receive the award, I can't think of a better way to pay it forward. And congratulations to every other woman on this dais today, some of whom I know extremely well, others I've just met, but all of whom I admire greatly. So here's to all of you guys. Okay, so here's what most of us already know about Janice. She's one of the superstars of publishing. She's the master of magazine makeover. She did it with us. She did it with The Hollywood Reporter and is doing it again at Billboard. She oversees big picture strategy as well as day-to-day operations. She has the final say on The Hollywood Reporter's Women in Entertainment Power List. There's only one word for that, oi. She's always picture perfect at 5'1", actually 5'1.5", I think. And she's one of the smartest, savviest, and classiest execs in the media business. But here's what you may not know about my friend Janice. She lies about her age. At least she did once, anyway, when she was 13, to get a job at McDonald's, a perfect example of the drive and initiative that she's demonstrated throughout her career. She graduated from high school and moved from Colorado to New York City at 16. Yes, 16, and got her BA and Master's in Journalism from Columbia. Now, her first journalism gig was as a crime reporter in Westchester County. Perfect training for her present gig. And she wrote a book, get the title of this, How to Look Hot in a Minivan, a real woman's guide to losing weight, looking great, and dressing chic in the age of the celebrity mom. All you have to do is look at her, and you know she's an author who actually walks her talk. I know her husband Peter and their 3 kids would truly agree. Now, I've been a fan since we first met, when she started working her magic at The Hollywood Reporter. We had a breakfast, you know, one of those 45-minute meet and greets at the Four Seasons. After 2.5 hours of incredibly insightful chit-chat, I was trying to figure out a way how to get her on my team. Seriously, she had no television experience whatsoever, but I was convinced she could do anything she put her mind to, and I wanted to offer her a job right on the spot. Unfortunately, at least for me, she was under contract. One of the things I admire most about Janice, even though she's at the epicenter of everything that glitters in Hollywood, she's completely comfortable in her own skin. She's one of the most grounded, down-to-earth, honest, straight-shooting humans I've been lucky enough to meet in the course of my career. From my point of view, she's the real, most powerful woman in Hollywood, and it's time everybody knew it. I'm so proud to present the Matrix Award to my dear friend, Janice Min. So deserving.
It's time to get the chains out.
Thank you, Bonnie. That was very lovely, and thank you to New York City Women in Communications. I just want to say, I love being up here with all these women. I think at least 3 of them have been on our cover, Lena and Nancy Dubuque and Bonnie Hammer, who is truly the most powerful woman in Hollywood. It's really a thrill to have her introduce me. So at this point in my career, I have probably edited hundreds, if not thousands, of stories and profiles about successful people, actors, actresses, writers, and executives, including those I mentioned here on the dais with me, and nearly all of their stories have an eerie similarity. The most successful creative people you know about today grew up weird, feeling weird, or maybe actually they were just genuinely weird. One line I never have read about a successful person in a profile is this: so-and-so was born rich, had a totally normal childhood, went to the perfect college, found the perfect partner, and never ever failed at anything. I have to tell you, I'd send back any story to one of my writers that had that narrative, because I would know it wasn't true. I've come to observe successful people have a quirk or bug that makes them operate and think differently. The thing is, we all have that defect in us, but most of us spend too much time of our lives, first as children, then as adults, fighting it, trying desperately to fit in and conceal our weirdness, our so-called defects. I am 100% certain that part of the reason I'm standing here today is because I largely never even tried. Something that happened in the second grade has always stuck with me. My class sat in a circle and had to say whom each student would love to trade places with and why in our own grade. This would never go on today. The girls all named other girls they liked because they liked someone's clothes or their pet or their braids or their house, and not one single person named me. Being what I believed was the smartest girl in the class, there were only about 8, so it was a pretty small pool, and the only non-white girl to boot, a total nerd about to skip a grade, was not exactly aspirational. But I also couldn't name anyone else I would want to be either. I remember for a split second my feelings were hurt. I was only 7. But I also remember very clearly having an epiphany. I wasn't like everyone else. I did a fast inventory of why that was, and all the reasons were good in my mind. Fast forward 39 years, I am not lying about my age. Today, I am pretty sure that being that outsider, even though I am very good at pretending I'm not, made me a better listener, a more empathetic and sensitive person, and a person, an editor, who can observe others and tell their stories like no one else can, in my own way. I like to think I constantly see things other people don't, the way the world works and why, because most of us are so busy trying to fit in, worried about what people think. In my case, what other places, what other editors and websites are doing. I almost never worry about those things, maybe to a fault, but I don't know how to be any way else. So, to the girls in this room, congratulations on your scholarships. And instead of thinking of yourselves as weird on those off days, think of those kooky, embarrassing traits of yours as your difference and largely your strength. The thing you never realized growing up, your life becomes your personal story, better than anything you'd read in a Hollywood magazine. And the best thing is you get to tell it. You actually get to cast the characters and kick out some and choose the plot twists in your life and even have a cliffhanger every once in a while. So pause for a moment and think, what is your story going to say if one day I am lucky enough to have a chance to profile you? And even if I never have the privilege of doing that, I'm pretty sure the story of you will be the most interesting one you will ever read. Thank you.